Okay, Mr. Dumar, our next witness.
Recall Sherry Cole.
Okay, thank you. It's Sherry Cole.
Cole, K-O-L-E.
Testified Wednesday, okay. All right, come on in, ma'am. Good afternoon again. Thank you for being here. Right here is good, but we're going to go through that process that you did the other day. Thank you.
Please raise your hand. Do you solemnly swear to clean up again and the cause nothing but the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Be seated. Take your first last name for the record. Let's vote.
Sherry Cole, first name S-H-E-R-I, last name K-O-L-B.
All right, Mr. Dumar, direct.
Good afternoon, Ms. Cole.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Cole, I want to go back to April 29th and April 30th of 2023. You had talked about, you had processed, you observed the teal Fuji bike and a black half water bottle on those days?
Yes, sir.
Or to that evening. Showing you People's Exhibit 18, photograph ending in 197. Is this the black half water bottle that you observed?
It is.
Now, when you processed it, did you swab it for DNA?
I did.
And is this the one where you also did the 3 latent fingerprint cards?
On the water bottle.
Water bottle.
Yes, correct.
Now, looking at photograph ending in 168. Scrolling over to the left right there. Is that the same black half water bottle that you ended up taking possession of and processing?
It is.
Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Hutchinson.
Ms. Cole, when you saw the bicycle, it had already been moved from the location from where it was initially found. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
I have nothing for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Cole, thank you again. Yep, have a great day.
Thank you.
Mr. Dumar.
You will recall Detective Alex Torres.
Okay. All right, sir, come on in and stand at the podium. We're going to go through that same process. Go ahead, Mr. Clerk.
If you solemnly swear to clear you're about to give and the cause nothing but the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Be seated. Take your first last name for the record. Solemn vote.
Alex Torres, Alextorres.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Dumar, this would be direct of the recall witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Detective Torres.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, I want to go back a little bit for this. Now, you had mentioned that you had been present during Mr. Dominguez's autopsy.
Yes.
When you were there, did you witness Dr. Sarah Abedschmidt, the pathologist, take fingernail scrapings from Mr. Dominguez's body?
Yes.
Did you eventually take possession of those and book them in evidence?
Yes.
Was that in order for them to be processed for DNA?
Yes.
Now, on May 1st of 2023 into May 2nd of 2023, are you aware that Kimberly Guilory was stabbed at her tent on the corner of 2nd and L?
Yes.
Did you respond to that scene as a member of the evidence response team?
Yes, I did.
What was your role there?
My role was team lead for the evidence collection of the scene.
Did you start processing the scene before Sacramento County Sheriff's Office arrived on scene?
Yes.
How did the two agencies work together? How did you divide tasks, if at all?
My role was to explain the type of collection that I believe was required for the scene, to give their team direction as to what I was observing and what is relevant evidence, but also to allow them to make their own decision as to what to collect and why.
And so, as part of that, were you giving them a briefing or a rundown of what you knew had happened the previous evening?
Yes.
So prior to Sacramento Sheriff's CSI team arriving, did you inspect a red and gray tent believed to be Ms. Guilory's?
Yes.
Inside the tent itself, did you see any food items?
Yes.
What did you see?
If I could look at my notes to refresh my recollection.
That's okay with His Honor?
Okay.
I'm refreshed.
And what food items did you find?
From my recollection, it was some sort of animal food item left out for an animal to eat.
Are you familiar with the In-N-Out in Davis?
Yes.
Did you find any evidence that there had been In-N-Out burger in the tent?
From my recollection, I believe there was a cup.
When you were observed, or when you arrived on scene, was Ms. Guilory's tent still in the upright position?
Yes.
Did you do anything to preserve the integrity of the tent, make sure it stayed upright?
Yes.
What did you do?
Made sure that no one touched the tent, and in order to preserve the tent, also hung up different types of protective rain fly because it was raining.
When you put a protective rain fly on it, actually I should step back. When did you first get there on scene?
It was early in the morning. If I could refresh my recollection from my notes, what time I arrived? I'm refreshed.
Okay.
It was around 7:40 in the morning that I was out there.
On May 2nd.
Yes.
The rain fly, did the tent, you're aware that there's like a gray rain fly on that tent?
Yes.
Was that part of the tent or something you added?
That was a part of the tent originally.
Did you put some sort of netting over the tent?
Above the area of the tent, yes. Yes, not physically on the tent.
What was that for?
That was to keep out the rain.
Okay. But I mean, I guess my question is, did you put like some sort of like yarn or something like that over it, the top of the tent to the ground?
Yes, I placed on the north-facing side of the tent, which was not the front entry door of the tent, I placed a grid using equal spaced lines of lanyard on the tent.
Why'd you do that?
In order to break that side of the tent up into different grids or sections so that they can be processed for DNA, touch DNA collection, as well as fingerprint collection.
Was the tent eventually broken up, like cut up into pieces?
Yes.
Do you know whether it was processed for DNA and fingerprints before it was cut up or after it was cut up?
Before it was cut up.
Were you present when that happened?
Yes.
Did you watch both interior and exterior swabs and prints being taken of sections of the tent?
Yes.
And was the processing done by Sacramento County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, it was.
Were there grids labeled like C5, C4, and things like that?
Yes.
Did you label those, or did Sacramento County Sheriff do that?
I labeled those.
And did you take possession of those items after they were processed so they could be booked into evidence and sent to a lab for testing?
Yes.
Everyone move your arm. Did you label one of those grid areas D5 exterior?
Yes.
Now, after that was processed, is that when the tent was cut up into pieces and then booked into evidence?
Yes.
Why was it cut up?
To remove the sections that were processed from the rest of the tent and seal those separately from the rest of the tent as it was transported back to the station.
When the tent was processed, had it already rained the night before?
Yes.
Based on your training experience and being a member of the evidence response team, does the rain affect the ability to actually get usable prints and DNA off of an item?
It can, yes.
But you still try?
Yes.
Detective Torres, I want to move forward in time again to May 3rd of 2023. And were you involved at that point in the investigation? Law enforcement and members of the Davis Police Department had arrested Carlos Dominguez, correct?
Yes.
And you see Mr. Dominguez in court today again?
Yes, I do.
When he was arrested, was he eventually, and items that he had in his possession at the time of arrest, eventually brought to the Davis Police Department?
Yes.
Around probably 11:30 p.m. on May 3rd, did you observe any items that you believed or were led to believe were in his possession at that time?
Yes.
What was that?
The items was a bag, a reusable grocery bag.
And did you take possession of that and eventually book it into evidence?
Yes.
Showing you people's positions number 5 and starting with 35. that your name on the label that?
Yes, it is.
Does that mean that you were the one who processed that and booked it?
Yes, I was.
All right, if you could open the contents of it. Okay, no, that's the bag that was, you believe that Mr. Dominguez had at the time that he was arrested.
Yes.
When you had it, was it full or was it in the state it's in currently?
It was full.
What items were in there?
There were several grocery items, from my recollection, I believe blueberries, milk, and also a knife.
Knife, looking at exhibit, table 34. You recognize that?
Yes.
Don't mind opening that up. That the knife you saw?
Yes, it was.
Was there anything about, or excuse me, I should say, did you remove the knife or did you just observe it in the bag at the time?
I did remove it from the bag.
How did you handle it?
I was wearing a Tyvek suit, disposable gloves, face mask, and a head covering. I had previously prepared a space to, with the use of butcher paper, to create clean space to be able to inspect the contents of the bag, including this knife.
It sounds like you basically had like a full-blown hazard suit on.
Yes.
And why was that?
I was dealing with potential physical evidence related to a serious investigation to ensure that I did not contaminate the item collected.
Okay, so in terms of picking up and grabbing the knife, did you do any sort of processing of it, meaning DNA, fingerprinting, or did you just book it in evidence?
I took photos of the knife and its condition, up-close photos, but then I sealed it inside this box so that a laboratory could handle processing later.
I'm going to approach and show you People's Exhibit 49. Detective Torres, I'm showing you People's Exhibit 49 with several thumbnail photographs on there.
Mm-hmm.
And do you recognize the contents of 49?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you recognize these?
These were the photographs that I requested Mariano Lopez take of the knife and that day.
And were you present when Detective Lopez took these photographs?
Yes.
And do these fairly and accurately capture the knife as well as the contents of the bag on May 3rd and May 4th of 2023?
Yes.
Permission to publish, Your Honor?
Okay.
All right, showing you photo 6964. Is this the bag that we just showed in court today?
Yes.
All right, looking at 6971. Is this a downward facing view of the bag?
Yes.
Okay. Are these the food items that you were just describing and talking about?
Yes.
At this time, is the knife still in the bag or have you removed it?
Still in the bag.
You can dim the lights just a little bit. In photo 6973, some of the food contents have been removed, but can we see the knife in this photograph?
Yes.
Is that the knife at the, I guess in this photo would be the top of the bag, just behind that looks like an apple or some sort of fruit item?
Yes.
All right, 6974. Is this just a brighter image similar to what we just saw?
Yes.
The knife still in the bag. And 6981, at this point, have you removed the knife from the bag?
Yes.
And is this the same knife that we just saw in People's 34 that's on the witness stand with you?
Yes, this knife.
And photo 7000, what are you doing here?
I'm using a reference scale to capture general dimensions of the knife.
And doing that with a tape measure?
Yeah, just a tape measure.
And photo 7002, this is a zoomed in version of that.
Yes.
Now, in addition to gathering those pieces of evidence and booking them, did you have a chance during the investigation while Mr. Dominguez was at the Davis Police Department to take DNA swabs from him?
Yes.
How did you do that?
It's referred to as a buccal swab. It's simply using cotton swabs to collect saliva, DNA samples from the saliva of the cheeks, interior cheeks.
At the time, was he wearing clothes?
Yes.
What was he wearing?
A black sweater, black pants.
Did you make observations, any observations of his clothing?
Yes.
Was there anything that stood out about them?
Yes.
What was that?
There was noticeable red stains on the front of the sweater, around the area of the drawstrings. Yeah.
Was there any, were there any other stains on other parts of the sweater?
If I could refresh my recollection, look at my notes. I'm refreshed.
Were there any other stains on that sweatshirt?
Yes, on the bottom right front of the sweater, there were droplets of what I suspected was dried blood, and on one of the drawstrings as well.
And if we could get the overhead one more time. And from People's 49, will be photo 7009. Detective Torres, is this Mr. Dominguez as you were getting ready to process him for DNA?
Yes.
And are these the clothes that he was wearing at the time you made those observations about suspected blood?
Yes.
No. All right, looking at photo 7024, is this the same sweatshirt?
Just a moment. Can you back up one picture?
Oh, sure.
I want to make sure that everyone on the jury got a chance to see the picture. Just a moment, counsel. Okay, thank you.
Now going to photograph 7024, is this the same sweatshirt just removed from Mr. Dominguez?
Yes.
Now, the laser pointer up there?
Yes, I do.
All right. With that laser pointer, you had mentioned there was some suspected blood on the drawstrings on there. Are you able to identify where those were?
Could you zoom in a little bit more on the drawstrings for me? A little bit more. There we go. Thank you. Near the tip of the left drawstring and the area of the knot.
Can you zoom out for a second? Are you able to identify where the other suspected blood was that you just testified about?
Could you zoom in on the, from this camera angle, I think it's the bottom left of the sweater. A little bit more. Hard to see. Not from this photo, no, and the lighting.
And when you say the left, is it the left in the photograph or the left side of the actual garment as if you're wearing it?
I believe it was bottom right side of the garment as you're actually wearing it.
So for just directional purposes, we'll just refer to how it is in the photograph then.
Okay.
Detective Torres, when you made these observations, what did you do, if anything, to preserve that evidence?
I took cotton swab samples of both locations that I suspected was blood.
When you say cotton swab samples, are we talking about doing like a similar swab you did to Mr. Dominguez where you swabbed it inside of his mouth, but now you're doing it on the clothing?
It is similar, yes. Same technique. I apply water to the end of a cotton swab, apply the cotton swab to the area of what I suspected was blood, and then applied pressure to try to have the cotton swab absorb as much of that material as I could.
And just to be clear, every time you're swabbing something, you're using basically a new Q-tip, right?
Yes.
And did you do two swabs and label them sample sweater bottom right side?
Yes.
And did you do two other swabs and label them sample sweater strength?
Yes.
And did you book those items into evidence so they could be sent to a lab for testing?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Demora. Mr. Hutchinson, cross-examination.
Good to see you again, sir.
Good afternoon.
So, sir, I want to ask you about the food items that were found in the bag. We saw they were photographed. Did you take those photographs?
It was Officer Mariano Lopez took the photographs.
Were you present when those were moved, though?
Yes.
So it appears there were 2 packages of bread,
2 packages of bread? Yes.
a container of what is called silk milk.
Yes.
There were 2 apples.
I believe there was 1. I don't remember 2, but yes.
There's at least 1 apple.
Yes.
There was a package of blueberries.
Blueberries, yes.
Then there was a package of blackberries.
I thought it was blackberries, yes.
We'll go back and take a look. And you removed those items when it was brought back to the Davis Police Department?
Yes.
You didn't go to the scene where Mr. Reales Dominguez was first contacted by law enforcement officers?
No.
The first time you saw him was when he was back at the Davis Police Department?
Yes.
Counsel, can you, for me, can you pull the mic?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm going to show you some photos here, sir. Just give me one moment, please.
A little bit closer. You didn't move it the first time.
You know me with moving microphones, Your Honor. I can't get it together.
It's all good.
So let me. I'm gonna show you what's been marked People's Exhibit 49, photos 969. This is the photo of the bag that Mr. Real Dominguez had the food items and the knife in.
Yes.
And at the top of this bag where there could have been handles, it appears that those have been ripped off.
Yes.
Based on, the bag is ripped on both sides at the location where there would be handles.
Yes.
Looking at this, obviously you never saw the bag before, you never saw the bag when it was brand new, obviously.
Yes.
So looking at this, does it appear that this bag previously had handles that have been ripped off?
Yes.
You would agree that a bag with handles ripped off is more difficult to carry than a bag with handles?
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked photo 6970, again, People's 49. We see, you can see in this photo at least 2 packages of bread
Yes.
and the silk milk.
Yes.
Now, photo 6971, it's a zoomed in photo of the contents of the bag.
Yes.
And with it zoomed in, you can tell that there's 2 packages of Signature Select 100% whole wheat bread.
Yes.
And then it appears a package of blueberries on the right.
Yes.
Now, showing you photo 6972 zoomed in again. With this closer view, does it appear to be blueberries?
Yes.
And can you see at least 1 apple underneath those blueberries?
Yes, I can.
Showing photo 6973. Now, certain items have been removed from the bag.
Yes.
The milk has been removed,
Yes.
or the silk milk to be specific. The whole wheat, 1 package of whole wheat bread has been removed,
Yes.
and 2 appears to be fruit items have been removed.
Yes.
So zooming in, if you can read upside down, do those appear to be blueberries and blackberries?
Yes.
And again, zooming in, if you can tell, do there appear to be 2 apples in the bag?
Yes. 2 apples.
And then showing you what's been marked, photo 6974, that shows the remaining package of whole wheat bread and the 2 apples that are in the bag with the knife.
Yes.
And photo 6975, that is a close-up of the knife.
Yes.
I'm going to zoom in. At this point, to your knowledge, no one has touched that knife. It has been in the bag the entire time.
To my knowledge, yes.
So in photo 6974, that should be an accurate depiction of how the knife looked when it was first seized by the Davis Police Department.
Yes, in my presence, yes, when it was in front of me.
And photo 6977, that shows the knife in the bag by itself.
Yes.
At that point, all the food items have been removed.
Yes.
And photo 6978, that is again a less blurry photo than the previous one.
Yes.
And it was at some point after taking this photo that you removed the knife from the bag.
Yes.
And 6979, that is another close-up of the bag?
Yes.
The knife.
Yep.
Sir, you were aware that Mr. Reales Dominguez was placed in an interrogation room.
Yes.
You were aware that for approximately 5.5 hours, he was questioned by Detective Steve Ramos and Detective Matt Muscardini.
Is there some relevance?
Well, overruled on that grounds, this is outside of direct, so,
It's actually, I'm going to how he took the photos.
okay, I'll allow for that, but overruled on relevance. Go ahead.
So, and this is just yes or no, did you observe any of that interrogation through a two-way mirror or a video system?
No.
But you were aware when Mr. Reales Dominguez came into the station?
Yes.
Approximately 5.5 hours after he was brought to the station, did you go into that interrogation room?
Yes.
And for approximately an hour to an hour and a half, you then basically processed Mr. Reales Dominguez.
Yes.
You would photograph him,
Yes.
then you would have him remove an item of clothing,
Yes.
then you would photograph that item,
Yes.
then you would go on to another item of clothing.
Yes.
And you did this methodically for each item he was wearing.
Yes.
And ultimately, you kept going until he was only in his underwear.
Yes.
Then he was, did you have him remove his underwear at that point or later?
I'd have to refer to my notes.
At some point, he was given, you recall him for some period of time being in the room with just his underwear on.
Yes.
After you were done processing, he was given kind of like a paper gown, or was he given some sort of gown so he wouldn't be completely naked?
Yes.
After removing all of Mr. Reales Dominguez's clothing and photographing it, you took fingernail clippings from him.
Yes.
You also took a buckle sample from him.
Yes.
You take a hair sample from him.
If I could refer to my notes, I do not recall.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But you took multiple evidentiary samples.
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that you were extremely methodical in how you went about taking these samples from Mr. Reales Dominguez?
Yes.
And you would give him direction on what to do,
Yes.
and he would follow your direction?
From what I recall, yes.
Do you recall if he ever said anything to you?
I don't recall.
He stood there perfectly still while you processed him.
I believe so, yes.
He would move when you directed him to move.
Yes.
You were able to observe that he had long, kind of stringy hair.
Yes.
Should it be dirty hair?
Yes.
Just based on your general observations, he did not appear to be someone who had taken a shower recently. Would you agree?
Yes.
Do you recall Mr. Reales Dominguez having a distinct body odor?
I don't recall.
You did notice that he appeared to be extremely thin.
Yes.
And you noticed that when you were photographing him.
Yes.
Like to show you an exhibit. It's, again, People's 49.
Mm-hmm.
this is a photograph of Mr. Reales Dominguez in his underwear.
Yes.
This is a profile of him.
Yes.
And you can see the long, kind of stringy, dirty hair.
Yes.
And also, this shows the left side of his rib cage.
Yes.
You can see multiple ribs are visible.
Yes.
I'm zooming in. And you were able to notice that when you took these photographs of Mr. Reales Dominguez.
Yes.
During the time you were, for actually an hour, hour and a half that you were processing him, this was all recorded on a video surveillance system.
To my knowledge, yes.
Basically, everything you said and did in that room with Mr. Reales Dominguez was recorded.
I believe so, yes.
Did you ever watch the recording?
No.
You said Mr. Reales Dominguez, you don't recall him saying anything to you.
I don't recall that, no.
You don't recall him moving unless you told him to move.
Yes.
Do you recall him making eye contact with you at all, other than when you told him to look up for photographs?
I don't remember.
One moment here, Honor. Your Honor, I have no further questions at this time. He is under defense subpoena for next week, though.
Okay, all right, thank you for the heads up on that. Okay, Mr. Dumar, any redirect?
If I may confer with defense momentarily.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Before I stipulate something, Your Honor, I just want to clarify.
No, please, we have a second. What do you need to
I
do?
just have some additional questions.
Yeah, Foundation, go ahead.
I just want to be clear, those photographs that were taken by Officer Lopez, you were present and saw him doing that.
Yes.
So you have personal knowledge those photos are accurate.
Yes.
That's fine, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
And we have a stipulation on 49. Just one question for Detective Torres. Actually, maybe two questions. Are you familiar with soap milk?
Yes.
Is that almond milk?
Yes. It can be, yes.
No further questions?
Okay. All right, thank you, counsel. All right, Detective Torres, thank you again.
Thank
Have a great day.